Recording. All right, we're good.
All right, good evening. And welcome to the Bolton Academy Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed to our public. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team, so only members may participate in the discussion. Members of the public are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please remember to identify yourself before you speak. We will have a period of public comment at the end. If there is anyone interested in making comments, that will be the time for you to do so. So I am pleased to call this meeting to order at 5:19 p.m. First order of business is roll call. Secretary will now take the roll.
Thank you. When you hear your name, please respond present. Siobhan Mincy,
Present.
Damani Fisher,
Present.
Natalie Malkov,
Present.
Christina Fanning,
Present.
Haiti Romero,
Present.
Sandy White,
Present.
Lakeitha Carlos,
Present.
Mario Correa, Daryl Stewart, and we do have a quorum present.
Awesome. Our next order of business is to, Our next order of business is to approve the agenda. The agenda was provided to everyone via email and posted, I believe, yes. And so are there any changes to the agenda? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
It has been properly approved, and it has been properly moved and accepted. It's late in the afternoon. Sorry, guys. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? All right, the ayes have it. The next agenda item is to review and approve the meeting minutes from our February meeting. Everyone has been provided with a copy of the minutes. Are there any corrections to be made? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes? All of those in favor, does anybody have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the previous month's minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. All right, the ayes have it. Next on the agenda is the approval of the public comment protocol. We talked about that at the last meeting, and it's currently posted on Bolton Academy's website. And so this was the opportunity for the Go Team to approve that as the final version of the protocol. Are there any questions or is there any discussion about that? All right, then I will entertain a motion to approve the public comment protocol as posted.
Motion to approve as posted.
Is there a second?
Second.
This has been properly seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition, say nay. All right, the ayes have it. Next, we will move on to the action item for filling the open community member seat. And that is actually the seat that I am in. So I should probably yield the floor to, who wants to take this? Is Mincy or Whitney? Do we have a
Whitney.
vice chair?
Yes, Christina. Isn't it Ms. Spanner? Ms. Spanner, aren't you the vice chair?
Yes.
Oh, well, I will yield to the vice chair and or Whitney.
Hey, this is Chandra from the Go Team office. Just trying to get clarification. So how are you in the seat or not?
I am, yes. I am currently in the seat. The seat expires in June.
So yeah, you guys don't fill that seat today.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because because you're in the seat. So
We feel it
the
once
seat
she's
is-
out the seat.
once the term has expired, right? Correct.
Okay, got it. All right, well, we will take that off of the agenda. So Whitney, if you can just make that note that we will table that until the appropriate time, which I assume will be at the first Go Team meeting of the new school year. That would be great. Sorry, Ms. Chandra, we were under the impression that we could renew that at this time.
No, I'm not.
That we
no.
that we said it could be done now. So okay. sounds
Thank
good.
you. We were just eager beavers, just trying to do and be right.
Right. Okay. So moving on to our next action item, which is the approval of the final budget. So we are going to come back to that item as to the action related to that item until after Ms. Mincy's principal's report, and in her report she will give us some discussion on what that final budget ended up looking like after her principal's meeting. So Ms. Mincy, you have the floor.
All right, great. All right, friends. So we are at the final step for our budget approval that has to be done before March 17th. We've gone through several steps and worked together to come up with a budget that we all agree on. So we will review any updated feedback from my staff conference with my superintendent and other leaders. And I'm going to present this in the next few slides, just really a summary of the budget. So to remind you, these were our school priorities for next year. And then we have the rationale on the right. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to read that. Nothing has changed. And this is what we ranked as our top priorities together. Okay. And just so you know, after the staffing conference, there were no changes made to the draft budget that we discussed at our last meeting. So as a reminder, here is the enrollment. And so the enrollment was 491, projected enrollment was 491 for next year. And then as you can see, each line item kind of breaks down how we received our budget based on the FTE points that we had in our building. And then that shows you how much we got per pupil. So here shows you a breakdown of where the majority of the budget went, and that was to instruction, that was to staffing. And then you'll see the other areas. Oh, okay, sorry, it is my PowerPoint, but it went kind of fast. So there really wasn't any changes. So just to remind you guys, the biggest thing that we talked about last week, the last time we met, was how we were under budget in the negative because we rolled off of Title I. And so we were in a deficit for almost $600,000. And we were able to put positions that there were some positions that were not filled, and some of the transitions that were happening in HR. There were just a few moves that probably needed to be changed from the year before. And so that left us with the opportunity to actually cut positions that were not staffed. So the positions that we cut were in EIP, were in paraprofessional and PE, and then an instructional coach opening. But the way we were able to make those moves, we did not impact any of our current staff. We had about $17,000 or $9,000 left over that we put into the budget to pay for dues. And then the remaining money that we had was from CARES money, and we put those in textbooks for the majority of that is for instructional materials, supplies for teachers, and then also some decodable readers. So does anybody have any questions? Like I said, nothing really changed at all, actually, from the last time. All right. And Lakeitha, we are going back to that agenda item for the approval.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the budget as presented by Ms. Mincy?
I make a motion that we approve the budget.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion at this time? Okay, hearing no further discussion, I will open the floor for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. All those not in favor, please say nay. Any abstentions? All right, the ayes have it, and we have passed the budget. Yay!
All right. Oh, yay! Okay, yay! Look at me like, next slide. Okay. So the next part of the agenda, sorry, do you want to say that part? We're moving on to the ACEs. I think I'm at the items at the bottom.
So this is still a part of your, I lost my agenda, hold on. A part of your principal's report,
I think
or
so.
we're moving on. Yeah.
We're
Yep.
moving on to ACEs.
Yep.
All right, I feel like I share ACEs, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I only shared the fall, but ACEs. So I'm gonna share some data with you, and then I'm gonna verbally add some data in my comments. So this is the data from fall to winter. Although it says fall to spring, this is kind of spring. So, okay. But the ACEs, you know, I meet with the senior cabinet, I present our data in the fall, and then our spring conferences were pretty early. They were in January. So we talked about some of the winter data, but some of it is referred to as spring. And so I'm just going to walk you through the things that we talked about. And so we talked about our attendance take rate, and that's how often and how well we take our attendance. And so that improved from fall to spring. This is the attendance rate of our students. And then as you can see, it's pretty much the same as far as our attendance. So our kids are doing well with coming to school. We were able to change our students not chronically absent. So our chronically absent students, their attendance improved as well. And then as you can see over here in the discipline, we're seeing an uptick in our discipline. And I know that this doesn't even reflect some of the uptick that we've had in the past couple of weeks. And so we're going to be meeting as an admin team. I just talked to a few members today just to wrap our heads around what we need to do to make sure that, you know, spring fever, you know, doesn't get out of hand. All right, so this is our fall to winter data. And so I shared with our senior cabinet that we didn't see much movement in any of the areas, really, not a lot of movement in math in a positive or a negative. It kind of is a stalemate just a little bit for the fall to the winter. And then for the fall to the winter for ELA, you'll see that our red increased, our yellow decreased. And so we don't want it to move that way. And so what, I continue to tell them is that we were going to continue to follow our Bolton framework. And when you have a new leader and you're implementing something that might feel new to a staff, sometimes you're going to see some things that are stagnant. What you don't see is the students that are meeting their growth target. So MAP will measure two things. It'll measure achievement, and then it'll also measure how well the students are growing. So right here, you see a predictor for where we would be with milestones. That's based off of achievement, but what you don't see is the milestone, the MAP data. So we don't have all of our MAP data in. I'm just going to take a point of privilege. Oh, in a few minutes, I'm going to come back to the slide. Let me keep going. All right, and so this was just showing our HMH. This is our intervention time, the 30-minute extra time we have. It's like in-school tutoring, really. And so this is the rates for how long students are practicing and what their averages are. And we are pretty much meeting what the expectation is for the district. So we were fine there. And then as you can see, this is our subgroup data from fall to winter. And on the left, what you see, I'm trying to make sure I don't keep the same people. I'm just moving y'all faces all around. I have no idea if y'all see that, but sorry. Oh, you do see me moving your faces around? Oh, okay, great. All right. So on the left, you'll see that it's math first. Can you see my little arrow? This is math, and then this is reading, and then you'll see from fall to winter going across. And so here are Black students, our Hispanic students, our two or more race students, our white students, and then again in reading going forward here. And I will say that actually this change from winter to this subgroup changed from winter to spring, but then also our Black and Hispanic students changed as far as their performance from winter to spring as well. And so my goal is to keep all of the subgroups, of course, getting better and better at each turn. And then over here, you have math and reading, and then this is our students with disabilities. And so you'll see that there was progress in math from fall to winter, and then there was a decrease in fall to winter in the reading. And so I know what we did specifically under the leadership of our, at the time, our special ed grade chair, who has now gotten a promotion. And so this week is her last week. She introduced number worlds. And I think that the team, I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. I know that that was new to the special ed team. And they worked collaboratively on implementing that into their small groups. So I'm wondering if that had this impact in math. And then this is just me sharing what were our action steps. And so it's our Bolton framework, a very robust document that lists all the things that we're committed to doing as far as instructionally, focusing on our PLCs, and then the 3 S's, the standard, small groups, and maintaining our schedule. School-wide dojo, and then our care check-in and check-out, and then continuing with our principal chats and our monthly engagement events. So that was pretty much it, but I want to go back to this particular slide. So actually, well, I'm going to stay on this slide. So we have some preliminary numbers for our growth target. And so your growth target, you want to make sure that your students are making adequate progress. And if they are meeting their growth targets, then we're also going to see, we should see some improvement in their achievement as well. So fall to spring data means we look at how the students started in August and how they ended in March. So we take the test in August, we take it in December, and then we take it, or November, around December, and then we take it again in March. So we just finished the reading. And so all of our grade levels, and so I like to just put it in context where we are with other schools. So out of all the Atlanta schools, when we look at our growth target in reading, we have the 4th highest average for meeting the growth target out of every single Atlanta school. That's overall. And then we pretty much our top 10, I would like for us to be okay. I feel like we should be in the top 15. I'd like for us to be in the top 10. And then eventually I'd like for us to be in the top 5. And then you already know the next part, right? But eventually, number 1. Yes, Ms. Stanton. Definitely celebrating. This is hot off the press. I have not shared it with the staff yet, but I'm waiting on all the numbers to share, okay? So just to share with you guys, kindergarten, out of all the elementary schools, for the whole year of learning was number 10. First grade was number 11. Second grade was number 1. So second grade had the top growth for reading out of all Atlanta schools. Third grade was number 12. Fourth grade was number 1 out of all of the Atlanta, for whoever has 4th grade. So that would be elementary schools. But that overall, all the first one I said was counted middle school and high school. We were number 4. And then 5th grade was number 7. But I want to give you kind of like a side by side. So last year, at the end of the year last year, the overall meeting growth target, Bolton was at number 25. So last year, number 25, this year, number 4. Kindergarten was at number 29, now it's number 10. First grade was at number 22, now it's number 11. Second grade, though, was at number 2 last year and now number 1. So couldn't go any further. Third grade was at number 30, now at number 12. Fourth grade was at number 21, now at number 1. And 5th grade was at number 19, now at number 7. So all fantastic increases. I think we're doing an amazing job. So even though I just didn't want that data to sit, and I don't have all of the numbers because right now we're giving math. So we don't have all of the final numbers to give, but hopefully I'll have a more clear picture when we get to our state of the school address.
Thank you, Principal Mincy. And just to clarify, this is the ranking for reading growth from.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to rank. I don't think so, but yes, this is just contextual information for reading growth for us.
From the December to the
From
March.
fall to spring.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes, from August
From August.
to March. Yeah, it actually, if you looked at our winter to spring, so there's this quadrant, right? And we are plotted in schools by dots. And so you want your dot to be in the top right quadrant. If you go look at Bolton and you look at their reading from winter to spring, our dot is all by itself in the top right, And that's for reading. Yes. I even got a call from the district office about it. I said, well, thank you. I'm glad you guys are looking. I'm looking too. Yes.
Awesome.
Any questions about what I just shared with you all? Okay. All right, great. Well, that is it. I will put it over to you, Lakita.
All right. Are there any other questions about anything that we have discussed today? Any of our old business or no? I'm trying to pull back up my agenda because I think we're at the end of it. It's amazing.
Sorry, Principal Mincy, I put on here the BASC 3 results if available, so I can put that those are not available yet.
Yeah, we'll have to move it until next time. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, well, are there any announcements by any members of the Go team?
Yes, the state of the school address is March 29th, and we put it in the Hoot. If you guys have any ideas, and Lakeitha, we can talk a little bit later about, we are doing a survey. Remember we talked about the survey? We are gonna do a survey that night. So we have some ideas, but before we solidify, we can chit chat and put some ideas together. But I will be planning with our expanded leadership team with it tomorrow, and then I'm going to go back to Ms. Haley to see how PTA can help us with that event on March 29th. And it's going to be an event where we talk about where we are now, how we're, moving from the past and where we're going in the future.
Hey, guys, this is Natalie Malkoff. I just want to let
Oh, yeah,
everyone
the
know, remind
NAPS.
folks
NAPS
about the
Wednesday.
NAPS meeting, correct, on
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yes.
It's about how IB curriculum can help with college acceptance. So we'd really love to get as many folks there because Bolton is hosting it. And
Yes.
we'd love to show that Bolton parents and at least this area of town is heavily involved. And I'm sure that if we can also, I don't know if there's any sort of alumni mailing group of Bolton students and their parents. That would be great to just have on hand for future events like this. And even just as, because we're trying to also do with NAPS a cluster, I guess, building branding awareness so that we can have a more cohesive voice and have a just a more I'm not were you part of that meeting, Miss Mincy?
Which one? The cluster one?
Yes,
Yes.
for NAP. So I think
Wait,
it
for
might be
NAPS
helpful,
or for the one with Travis Norvell?
for NAPS.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So that's just one of our initiatives for this coming year is to get more of the cluster involved in having to do cluster-wide events, things like that. So, yep, please spread the word on that event. Thank you.
And Natalie, it might be useful too. I know I know at least at the play, there were some of the older family members of current Bolton students that had gone through Bolton. So some of those parents might be more connected to other former Bolton students, that still have students at Bolton now, but their kids have moved on. So it might be good to, to reach out to see if they can help connect the former Bolton kids.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, my internet here. I'm in the middle of the country. It came knocked out. But yes, I'll go ahead and forward that on to the NAPS, the high school folks too.
And what time is that meeting on Wednesday?
6:30?
Yes, I believe so.
6:30.
All right, are there any other announcements? Okay, if there are members of the public on the Zoom who would like to make any comments, this is your time to do so. Don't see anybody else on here. Or if there are anybody that are watching on YouTube live and want to leave messages in the chat, please do so.
Sorry, it's not
We
live
will-
today. It's recorded.
Oh, right. Well, there is nobody in the participant queue other than the members of the Go team. So that is it. If there are no further announcements or questions, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Is there a second? All right. This means, all those in favor say aye.